I'm Solari, High Priestess of the Open Gate, multidimensional teacher and healer, and author of the new book, The Sacred Undoing, How High Performers Break, Heal, and Rise, available now on Kindle. And I want to come on today and offer a teaching transmission on a topic that is becoming more mainstream, but I would like to offer it in a way that I teach it, which is a deeper understanding, right? So not just surface level, but how we can apply it into our lives. And this topic is the main 7 chakra system that runs throughout the body, right? So many of us have so many chakras around us. We have hundreds actually, and they extend around the physical body out into our auric field, which could be a few feet around, above, and below us, right? And so the ones that we're focusing on today, which are the main 7, which you may have heard of before, but we're going to take a look at them emotionally. So the 7 chakra system can be understood as the psychological system of understanding of the East, right? And I'll explain this as we go through each one. So let's start with our base chakra in the main 7 system, which is the root chakra associated with the color red. This one has everything to do with our survival and our grounding and our well-being, right? In our root system, right? Also ancestral patterns, things like this. Our relationship with money, right? Because we need money to survive in this plane. But when this is out of balance, it'll show up not only in relation to those things, but it manifests as emotions, right? So when our energy bodies, our spiritual bodies are out of balance, the manifestation of that will come through in our emotions and in the physical body, okay? So what are the emotions here when the root chakra is out of balance? It's going to be fear, right? Fear/guilt, right? Because guilt is fear plus God, right? So some sort of guilting factor there. But that's a lot of the emotion that someone will be moving in if they're experiencing an imbalance in the root chakra. So let's come up to the next chakra, which is going to be the sacral chakra, just about the belly button area, right? So the root's at the pelvic floor. We're going to come up to the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is associated with the color orange. And it's a beautiful chakra for us. It houses our creation, our desires, our passions, our relationships, the things that really make life juicy, beautiful, wonderful, and vibrant, right? Now, when this is out of balance, we can think about this because it is also associated with the reproductive system. We feel shame around the sacral chakra, and many people who've experienced some sort of abuse, right, and in terms of intimacy or sexuality will have an imbalance here. And this is something I actually specialize in. So if you're experiencing this, please let me know. But the deep emotion of shame, and shame is just the embedded feeling, belief, right, that you are just not worth anything, not good to your core, no value, this type of thing. And so that will domino effect into many negative patterns within your life if you are functioning from a place of shame, right, with an out of balanced sacral chakra. So that's the emotion manifesting there. Let's come up now to the solar plexus, which is actually at the base of where the ribs end, right, in that tender spot right in the middle of the body. This is associated with the color yellow. This is our power center. This is our luminous energy field, right? I like to describe it to people as a sunflower with thousands of petals all around it when it's vibrant and flowing the way that it should. When it is out of balance, right? When we are feeling disempowered, the number one emotion that comes up is anxiety, right? Anxiety. So those of us who may be dealing with deeply embedded anxiety, there's a disconnect between us and our power. And so what we can do is work on calling the power energy back into us and then implementing it into our life so that way it's a sustainable factor, a sustainable part of who you are and your whole creation that you're moving forward with, right? Many of us try to move forward without our power, and that's why we become so drained, okay? Let's talk about the next chakra, which is the heart chakra, okay? The heart chakra is associated with the color green. Of course, this has everything to do with love. Love in relation to giving and receiving love. Also forgiveness, giving and receiving forgiveness. Grief can also lie in the heart space. If there's unprocessed grief, many times it lays very heavily here. The emotion that manifests when this is out of balance is depression. is depression. Okay, think about it. When your heart center, your love center is not functioning right, you feel the feelings of depression, right? Because the love has left you. Okay, so this is something that we would work on together very deeply and intimately if you were experiencing a deep heart chakra blockage. And I just want to point out, in association with psychology, so when we think about the emotional factors and diagnoses many people receive in mental health, anxiety and depression typically go hand in hand, right? My licensed providers out there, please verify this for me. But I just want to state, as a spiritual provider and therapist, that I find it very interesting in the cross truth that anxiety and depression diagnoses often come together, and they are associated right next to each other in the physical body within the 7 chakra system, right? So then we would be talking about the solar plexus and then the heart, anxiety and depression. Okay, let's come up to the next chakra, a very important one. This will be our throat chakra, okay? This is where we need to be speaking our truth, coming from a place of love that is fueled by our power. So see how the energy throughout the body moves naturally. We come from our place of power, filtered through love, and then up and out through a open and clear, healthy throat chakra to communicate clearly, as I'm trying to say it, to the people who are listening to you or to the masses, what needs to be transmitted through your sacred resonance, your sacred voice, right? So when this is blocked, oftentimes it will look like someone just not being comfortable saying no to things, not being comfortable expressing what they need. Many of us were not raised with that type of empowerment. And so, and maybe we were raised with it, but then at some point we shut it off ourselves, right? Or an encounter with someone else. So there could be many different factors that contribute to an imbalanced chakra or a blocked chakra. Also want to point out that the throat chakra can become imbalanced if we are experiencing a lot of jealousy and speaking too much about other people, or even worse, cursing other people, right, instead of blessing them. So that's an important thing to pay attention to for your own balance and health and karma, okay? Let's come up to the next chakra, which is going to be commonly called the third eye. I love to call it my first eye, honestly, because it's the one I feel like I see best out of the most. It's the one that we receive first in spirit and keeps us connected to our inner selves, our higher selves, our intuition, our guides, and our own discernment, right, of the meaning of God and the direction that we need to be moving in our purpose. So when the third eye is experiencing some sort of blockage or imbalance, many times I hear clients complaining that they feel very confused or even crazy, quite literally questioning everything that they're doing, right? And so oftentimes clients will be experiencing this deep blockage when they are having a spiritual awakening or moving into another awakening path, even after their initial awakening, right? Because there are several throughout this life if we keep working on spiritual ascension. But they feel like they're really just kind of losing it. And so they come to me, I'm able to speak to them about the spiritual psychosis, what's happening, of course, assess if there's anything very serious. We refer out to trusted mental health providers within my network. But just know that this is something that does happen when you start to begin to question everything that your life has been structured on, right? So just know that I'm here to support you for that. The last chakra in this 7 chakra system we're going to talk about is the crown chakra, which is actually located at the back of the head. And it's not so much a chakra as it is an opening, right? A portal, a receiving vessel for connection from information from your higher sources you are connected to. God, your higher self, angels, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, these types of things, whoever you desire to work with in your team. And so when this is blocked or not functioning properly, you feel completely unsupported, even abandoned, okay? And so that's something that we would focus on together to get back into health. So this is just a taste of the information that I go over with you in your initial session with me. We would get in and find what is blocked, what is flowing beautifully, and how we can get anything back into the state it needs to be if it's not flowing the way that we would like it. If you'd like more information, please be sure to visit my website.